Karen Mulder raced from suburban The Hague to global catwalks, banking five-figure fees and filling major magazine covers. Pills dimmed panic, cocaine powered dawn flights, and the cycle shredded her grasp on reality. This is how drugs dismantled a supermodel.
I never thought I was pretty, really. I mean, it's only been a few years that people started saying to me that I was pretty. I mean, I never felt like I was a very pretty girl.
Karen Mulder was born on the 1st of June 1970 in Vlaardingen, a town just outside The Hague. Her mother, Marieke de Jong, worked as a municipal secretary. Her father, Ben Mulder, oversaw local tax assessments. Weekends often ended with family bike rides along the dunes by the North Sea. At 15, she spotted a poster for the Elite Model Look contest. Braces convinced her she wasn't ready, but a friend sent in photos anyway. Judges awarded her second place and invited her to Paris.
I never actually thought of being a model, especially 7 years ago. Everybody wanted to be an actress or a singer, but nobody really wanted to be a model like today.
Paris felt like another planet. Bright lights warmed her cheeks as photographers guided every movement. Shoulders back, chin down, relax your smile. By 17, she had signed with Elite Model Management, swapping Dutch schoolbooks for international flight itineraries. Bookings followed immediately. Versace placed her in a jade silk sheath to open its Milan show. Yves Saint Laurent scheduled dawn fittings that stretched straight into lunch. Vogue featured her on consecutive covers. And in 1992, Victoria's Secret fashioned feathered wings for her as one of their earliest angels. At her peak, she earned up to $10,000 a day, enough to buy a left bank apartment before she turned 19. Success carried hidden costs. Designers measured her waist to the quarter inch and expected instant adjustments if she gained an ounce. Fashion weeks erased the line between night and morning. Backstage medics handed out pills to calm nerves and stimulants to chase away fatigue. Cocaine lined dressing tables beside blush compacts and eyeliners. Each dose seemed like a solution. One steadied trembling hands. Another kept her awake, but over time, those solutions planted roots she couldn't feel until they were fully entangled. Hotel corridors blurred. Paris one night, Milan the next, until jet lag erased all sense of place. Her makeup pouch, once filled only with cosmetics, now hid vials of prescription medication. By 2000, her body cried out in protest. Joints ached before fittings, and migraines pulsed behind her temples. It felt impossible to keep up with non-stop runway schedules. She stepped away from modeling and into a recording studio. Singing offered a different kind of adrenaline.
I am what I am. I don't want praise. I don't want pity.
In 2002, she released I Am What I Am, reaching number 1. 13 on French charts. The full album Karen Mulder followed, drawing respect from critics and curious fans. Acting arrived too. Her debut in the French short film A Theft, one night traded frantic overseas flights for patient rehearsals. To the outside world, it looked like reinvention. Beneath the surface, her chemical routines remained unchanged. On 31st October 2001, Karen appeared on France 2's late-night program Tout le monde en parle. Viewers expected banter. Instead, she spoke slowly, alleging elite executives had drugged and exploited her, and naming Prince Albert II of Monaco. A hush fell over the live audience. Producers cut the broadcast mid-sentence, destroyed every tape, and made both staff and viewers sign non-disclosure agreements before leaving. Newspapers pieced together whispered fragments, with headlines like "Top Model's Shocking Confession" and "Whispers of Abuse in Fashion." 2 days later, her sister Charlotte found Karen in a small Paris flat, cluttered with unopened mail. Without resistance, Karen slipped into Charlotte's car and headed to Villa Montsoris, a psychiatric clinic in Paris. Gérald Marie, Elite's president, and the very man rumored to have benefited from her silence, quietly covered her 5-month stay. Physicians recorded severe depression, chronic insomnia, and benzodiazepine dependence. They introduced a tapering schedule for sedatives, scheduled cognitive therapy sessions in sunlit rooms, and limited visitors. In a pale blue journal, Karen wrote of feeling trapped whenever cameras flashed. By December, she released a short statement apologizing to Prince Albert, calling her televised remarks a plea born of exhaustion. Recovery proved uneven. On 10 December 2002, Neighbors smelled something burning and used a spare key to enter her Paris apartment. They found her unconscious beside empty sleeping pill packs. Paramedics revived her from a brief coma. Doctors recommended ongoing therapy and nutritional counseling. Karen complied, but found disordered eating creeping back during solitary days. Family calls became rarer, each one dredging painful memories she preferred to bury. Offers to walk runways still arrived. Karen agreed only to jobs with private changing rooms, short rehearsals, and wellness clauses, guaranteeing medical checks or mental health support. Audience members observed a composed figure breezing down catwalks. Backstage, however, she counted minutes until she could remove designer gowns and slip into solitude. In July 2007, she returned at Christian Dior's couture show alongside Naomi Campbell, Linda Evangelista, Helena Christensen, and Amber Valletta. Photographers captured her trademark poise. Conditions for that comeback: no press hovers, no marathon fittings, and a mental health professional on standby. On the 1st of July 2009, a Paris plastic surgeon reported threats over the phone. Police arrived to find Karen distraught. Mirrors had become unbearable, and she believed another procedure might fix a self she no longer recognized. After a psychiatric evaluation, a magistrate ordered counseling instead of jail. Headlines labeled it "Model's Mental Health Crisis." After that, her public life evaporated. No more interviews, no new covers, only the occasional whispered question, "Is she okay?" By 40, Karen craved a different rhythm. She left Paris for a stone farmhouse outside Avignon, surrounded by lavender fields and olive groves. An old shed became her recording studio, its walls lined with acoustic panels. Mornings began with mint tea and journaling, ink on paper, before the world could demand anything. Gentle yoga followed, stretching out aches that bred in years of non-stop fittings. Thursdays belonged to therapy sessions, held in sunlit rooms overlooking Lavender Rose. Her daughter Anna, born 30 October 2006, brought steady joy. They made breakfasts of fresh croissants and eggs with homemade jam. Laughter filled the kitchen as they mixed flour and chocolate for brownies. Karen let go of calorie counts and kitchen scales. Evenings ended with barefoot walks under stars. Anna skipping ahead, while Karen marveled at the calm. Music became a lifeline. She wrote lyrics about perseverance and recorded acoustic tracks in one-take sessions that captured raw emotion over polish. Uploading them online, she received messages from listeners navigating their own recoveries. "Your song saved me that night," or "I felt hope when you sang." Karen printed these notes and placed them in a wooden box labeled "Resilience." Each one felt like proof that honesty can heal wounds. Silence only deepens. Modeling re-entered her life solely through charity galas supporting youth counseling programs. Contracts now spelled out every detail: private dressing spaces, guaranteed breaks for meals, and a mental health professional on call. Organizers readily agreed. Her presence still drew donations and headlines. On stage, she moved with the same elegance that once defined her career, but now her steps carried intention, not obligation. The industry around her began to change. In Paris and Milan, agencies hired wellness officers for fashion weeks, converting spare rooms into resting lounges and posting mental health hotlines backstage. Negotiators cited Karen's journey when insisting on humane schedules, prompt pay, and nutrition support clauses. Young models, reading those provisions, felt safer stepping onto runways that once demanded silence. Today, some mornings still arrive with difficulty. She inhales slowly, counts 4 heartbeats, and exhales to clear racing thoughts. Other mornings begin with Anna tugging her hand. "Mama, breakfast's ready." The house smells of coffee and fresh bread. Laughter drifts from one room to the next, chasing away memories of cramped hotel corridors and endless crowds. Karen moves to the piano, uneven legs reminding her that imperfection can be beautiful. A pencil sketch of a glass box hangs on her studio wall, a monument to the world she once inhabited, where every camera flash felt like a bar on a cage. Karen's journey from a contest photograph to a Paris runway, and then nearly to oblivion, unfolded in countless small moments. Each pill, each backstage whisper, each pressured booking, until the sum of those parts threatened to erase her. Only by retreating into a studio, embracing honest melodies, and building new routines did she begin to piece herself back together. Once known as a Vogue cover star, she now stands as a musician, a mother, and a survivor. Her story raises urgent questions about power, secrecy, and health in high fashion, questions that the industry cannot afford to ignore. If Karen's path resonates, share your reflections below. For more stories that step beyond the camera's glare, stay with us.